Thanks for joining me again. Australia versus Canada. Who's handling immigration better? Point system wars and labor market alignment. Australia and Canada are often seen as the gold standard for immigration. But who's really doing it better? Both use point-based systems, both prioritize skilled workers, and both face similar pressures around housing, labor shortages, and public opinion. But when you dig into the details, their approaches and results look very different. Australia takes a more centralized and rigid approach. The federal government decides who qualifies, and selection is heavily tied to current labor market needs. If your occupation isn't on the approved list, you're out. No exceptions. There also place strong emphasis on English language ability and age, which filters out a lot of otherwise capable applicants. The results? A tightly controlled flow of immigrants that match specific job needs, but often at the expense of flexibility and diversity. Canada, on the other hand, uses a more decentralized model. While express entry is federally managed, provinces have significant power through the provincial nominee program to target regional labor shortages. There's also more room for family reunification, humanitarian pathways, and long-term settlement planning. It's less rigid, but also more complex and sometimes less responsive to immediate labor needs. In recent years, Australia has been quicker to tweak its system based on economic data. For example, when their housing market overheated, they cut intake sharply. Canada has been slower to react, which led to an overflow of temporary residents and infrastructure gaps in major cities. That said, Canada's strength lies in its long-term integration model. Immigrants here have access to permanent residency faster, they're more likely to become citizens, and the cultural diversity here is actively embraced, not just tolerated. So who's doing it better? If you're measuring short-term labor alignment, Australia might have the edge. But if you're thinking long-term economic growth, demographic renewal, and inclusive nation building, Canada's model is still more sustainable. The real question isn't who's winning the immigration race. It's who's building the kind of country people want to stay in 10, 20, 50 years from now. So what do you think? Who's doing it better? Share your comments with me. Thank you, and until next time.